So I wanted to make a video log just about part of my series and just my transition from Kansas City to Tampa, starting from scratch, building clientele, and there's a lot of videos out there with tutorials as a barber, life as a barber, tools and different things, but I want to talk about some of the things that I struggle with as a barber, just in my mind. Maybe some of you can relate, but I struggle with believing in myself. I've struggled with that for a long time, and as a kid I remember I just used to really believe in myself. I used to believe I was somebody special, that I had this favor, that I was going to be great at anything I did, and along the way that changed. I started believing that I couldn't do it, for whatever reason. Life happens, and you start believing lies, and you start believing, you start believing things that you shouldn't believe. And as a Christian, I believe that, your belief, I believed that your trust should only be in God and not even in yourself, and trusting in yourself is pride, and believing in yourself is pride. But I think that's a twisted way of looking at things. The Bible says that apart from me you can do nothing, and that's true. I think Jesus, what he's saying there is, I am the source of your life. But notice that it doesn't say, hey, you are nothing. It just says, apart from me, you can do nothing. But I walk around believing that I'm that I'm nothing. And somehow I believe that was humility. And that's fear masking itself in some spiritual mask. I believe that you should believe in yourself. That God has given me and you gifts, and he's given you responsibility, and you're to steward that responsibility, and he's made you capable. You're capable of learning. He's given you a brain. You're capable of growing. You're capable of doing hard things. And I used to think that the uncomfortable feeling that came with me doing things that were new was just a sign that I can't do this. I'm not smart enough. I'm incapable. But all that means was that I was growing. When you try something new and you're trying something bigger than you've ever done, bigger than yourself, and you feel uncomfortable and it feels hard and you're struggling with, man, I can't do this. All that is growth. And if you want to get fully booked, if you want to attract more clientele, sometimes you got to do things you're not used to doing. And for me, that's marketing. I struggle with marketing. I don't like it. Using computers stuff and going out and talking to people and giving out cards. For some reason, it makes me uncomfortable, but it's necessary, and I can do it. Anybody can do it. In fact, I've been given a blueprint to how to do it, but for some reason, I've kept myself from even learning it, because sometimes I feel like it goes over my head. But if I just stick with it, and I go back and rewind the confusing parts, write it down and implement just one little thing a day, then I'm growing. And I've committed myself to growing. And that's why I moved here. I could have stayed where it was comfortable back in Kansas City. I could have stayed where it was safe. I could have stayed where it was predictable and familiar. But I would have never grown. I would have never grown. And now I'm growing. And that's powerful. So I just wanted to share that with you, hoping that it would encourage you. Grow. Growth feels uncomfortable, but that means it's, growing pains. When I was a little kid, I'm only 5'1", I didn't grow much, but I did have growing pains. They were painful, but it meant that I was growing. It's the same thing in life, So I just wanted to share that. Hope hope that encourages people. Let's grow together. Let's keep going. Let's believe in ourselves and trust in God at the same time.